Another just quick clip, more deal with the right here. Representative Lee Zeldin. I don't know if he's from upstate. I think he's from upstate. Maybe he's from Long Island, but from New York. He voted. He did not. He didn't vote to certify the election for Joe Biden. He's one of these Republicans who, had questions about votes coming from certain communities and whether they were fraudulent or not. So, I mean, I don't recommend anything Politico does. Really, I think Politico.
You could go ahead and do that.
Politico's basically like, God, taking a stab at characterizing Politico for people who aren't super media literate. It's like there's always an agenda. Planted there by political operatives, right? Like that's who pitches Politico.
And like Politico has a section in their like daily newsletter of like the birthdays of like important people, right? Which just should go to show to you like who the target audience is. There's like, oh, this is a person who can brown nose today and remind them that it's their birthday, that that it's their birthday, right?
Right.
That being said, like Politico is not the worst place to scroll for like good tips or to see things as they're starting to percolate.
You have to know, you have to know that about.
But analysis, I would steer clear,
right?
Because you're getting analysis from people who, again, are spreading. I don't know, like DC is like I'm sure like people have heard the joke, like DC is Hollywood for ugly people. Like Politico is filled with like serious fanboys of that system, and it's exhausting and gross and horrible.
And so one thing I think is, as long as like I think it's a good state of affairs that those types of fanboys look at the Republicans, the MAGA type Republicans, which is a huge chunk of that party, with this type of disdain. So I just want to applaud this good work by these Political. I think it's Byron York, and I'm not sure who is in the middle. But anyway, here's how this interview goes, and it's a little bit testy.
Yeah, Joe Biden is the president of the United States.
So he says Biden is the president. The question is, did Biden win? Okay, so you can see a little bit of semantics at the start.
Yeah, Joe Biden is the president of the United States, and that's how you become the president of the United States.
But one that I said, I asked it very intentionally that he won the presidential election.
Yes. And then I went on to continue an answer. If you'd like to give my answer for me, you could go ahead and do that. But I thought I was going to be here to answer my own questions.
No, I'm not giving your answer. I'm just saying you said he is the president, and I was asking, did he win?
Okay, you're asking me now for a third time, and I've said yes twice. So I don't know how many more times you want me to say yes and what your agenda is. But really, it's a bit ridiculous.
Did he win? Like, that's not a yes or no question anyway.
Be asking me a third time. But please go ahead and ask me again.
Just clarifying the answer to make sure that he has it right.
You have a fourth time. I mean, I don't know.
I wouldn't call that a question.
Go for a fifth time next too.
Is every time I speak a question? We could keep going.
Sure, let's do it a sixth time.
Congressman.
Hell yeah, dude. This is Meltdown Monday shit. Like, I love that, right?
Yes. The answer is yes. Do I believe he won, or is he the president? Yes.
Yeah. I mean, they're not sending their best.
It is. Oh, man. It's funny to get stuck in something like that. Like, where you can't, he literally can't say yes, he won the presidency.
I mean, but that's some coward stuff. Like, honestly, like let's just play the game for a second. Let's imagine that, like, you are just one of these little swamp creatures, and like you need to get in good with like, Donald Trump and all the little gremlins out there. Do you think that this like Politico interview is going to be the one that sinks you? Right. Like, this is what I'm saying. Is like, this is not a high profile, no offense. And, no like judgment here. Like, it's not like we're big or anything like that,
right.
But like, this is not a high profile, like this is like a Zoom interview for like Politico's daily like podcast or, weekly show or whatever. Right.
Mhm.
This is not going to reverberate across Trump country. So it's like it's
I don't
funny.
know.
Like
You think
it's
it could be
funny
this
is
is a
like your point
primary?
about like how the Republicans have to do this, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But it's also actually funny to be so scared that
Mhm.
you can't even just like, plausible deniability in this thing's like you just say yes, right? Or
Yeah, I guess it's a good question. Like, does he have to worry about some other Republican saying, "Hey, look at this guy said Joe Biden won the election"? Or, I mean, if you're right, like, and he actually doesn't have to, that's also very interesting. Which is like, I mean, that's not how you operate as a politician. If you're afraid of something like that,
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Is it's just like he has really like the thing that's interesting about Trump is like he destroyed the Republican Party, right? In the sense that like he just dominated every
Mhm.
person in it.
yeah,
Um,
cucked them all. I think is the technical political science.
but the thing is like some of them are like sort of swimming back, right? Into their little role, like little Rubio, little Marco,
Yeah.
hell, even like honestly, probably one of the slimiest Republicans, and he's getting the reputation now for it. But Lindsey Graham,
Mm.
who has just survived era after era, and is plays a different role, every administration.
Yeah.
He's even finding his own way in like the post-Trump world, right? To be like, C grade Republican is actually probably a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah, Lindsey Graham is a great example of how none of this shit really. If you just
can do
accept
whatever you
that
want,
yeah,
man.
none of this shit matters.
Like
if
he was
you-
saying, he was like threatening to run against Trump again
yeah,
in the general. Yeah.
all right.
And honestly, like, and then who is that cuck who ran for them in the general in 2016? Evan something. Evan
McMuffin.
Evan McMuffin just fell off, right? Like, just
Yeah, what happened to him? Honestly,
I was just gonna look
like
it up.
he couldn't even get on it.
What's his name's not Evan McMuffin? It's McMullen.
Yeah, no, yeah, I know.
Oh, he's an
He-
American investment banker.
does he have anything to do with the Project Lincoln?
Dude,
Because I
big
feel like
S. Oh, I bet. Yeah, I bet he was in.
he was Lincoln before it was cool. Let's go to the left reckoning questions.